Hello, good evening, everybody. This is one of our Thursday night health talk. Dr. Jerry here. Tonight, the topic that I'm going to talk about is a healthy aging. Basically, aging is something that no one of us can run away from, whether we are rich, poor, or educated, uneducated. We all going to face the same destiny one day. Now, in life, we normally go through 4 phases. We have the growing up phase, 0 to 12, let's say, the youth phase, which is the 13 to 40, and then middle age, 40 to 60, and then we reach older age, which is like the seniors, which is considered 60 plus in most countries. Of course, when we are growing up, there's people caring for us, and even in our youth, we do not think much about health. But I think once we reach the middle age, especially when we reach seniors, and we start taking medication, going to the hospital, health therefore becomes an important part of our life. I dare to say that most of us do not really think about health until we're probably somewhere in our middle age, because that's when we start feeling the effects of aging. So the effects will include things like, of course, lowered energy, lowered stamina, lowered libido, our sex drive goes down, our appetite changes, we can't eat that much food, our metabolism drops, our hair drops, so many effects. And when we get injured, it takes a long time to recover. These are all the signs of aging. Just to share with you some statistics, the average lifespan in Malaysia is about 75 years. To be exact, 74.88. That was the last time they did the study in 2015. For women, it is 77. For men, it's shorter, 72. That's the average lifespan, how long we are expected to live. In many countries, for example, like Japan before this, aging population was a big problem because you're getting more and more people getting old. For example, in Malaysia, the number of people 60 years and above is only 1.4 million right now. But by 2020, it will more than double to 3.3 million. By 2020, 10% of the population will be 60 plus. So we will have a population of about 30 over million. So 3 over million of people are above 60. So why is that important? Because aging comes with health issues. For example, you have incontinence, basically inability to control the bladder. We have mental illnesses like Alzheimer. We have bad nutrition. Their ability to chew the food is lessened. And also overly reliant on medication, too much medication, mixture of medication, and all the aging organs, the kidney, the liver, the muscles, the bones, that goes with aging. So what really happens to our physical wellness? We have less teeth, so therefore we can't chew properly. We have lowered metabolism, which means we don't get that many nutrients. We have lowered absorption, so even if we have the nutrients, we can't absorb it. We have lowered enzymes, so that we can't really digest the food. Lower bone muscle strength, which causes us to get injured easily. We also have lowered mental power, lowered energy, lowered sex drive, libido, all the things that I mentioned before. So the question is, what can we do about it? The first advice that I would say is to start thinking about your health at a younger age. Educate your children, educate yourself, get the knowledge on what it takes to have preventive health care. Basically, how to take care of yourself, just like maintaining a new car. So when you're younger, the younger you are, the better that you adopt healthy habits, you will have a better and healthier older life in the future. Like I said, it's exactly like a car. If you trash your car and you don't maintain it, it will be very worn out after a few years. But if you take care of it, use good oil, change it, keep it in good running condition, a good car can last for 20 years easily. However, if you're already reaching the senior age and you are past middle age and you want to take care and start understanding about health, there are a few things you can do actually to take care of your health. Those of you who have heard me speak or attended some of my talks would realize that I always emphasize certain things for overall health. But for older people, we need to adapt that to look at their needs. The one advice that I always start with is make sure that older people get enough sunlight, because as they age, they don't really go out that much, and therefore there's a lack of sunlight. We need the 15-20 minutes of good sunlight to keep our body healthy, to keep our immune system healthy. The other thing that I always encourage, and that's free, is to enjoy the oxygen that is available. Go to a clean air place and do a lot of deep breathing. You can use yoga breathing. You can use whatever type of breathing you're familiar with. I always practice 4-7-8, which is in my YouTube under EXA Dr. Jerry. Besides sunlight and oxygen, you need to take care of your muscles and your bones. You got to keep it active. So you need to stretch. Like a rubber band, if you don't stretch it and don't use it, it will break very easily. But if you keep using it and move it around and use it, it will last longer. Older people need to do a lot more stretching and need to do a lot more positive resistance. Basically, push against the wall, pull against the wall, push against the chair, pull against the chair, just for 10-15 seconds as they sit down or as they watch TV. This is the positive resistance that your body needs to keep the bone strong. Now, of course, nutrition is the key. Older people also need a lot of nutrition, but they find it harder to eat food because as they age, they have different challenges. So what you need to do as you age is to fill your body with enzymes before you eat so that you can digest the food. And the best way to get enzymes would be to drink fresh fruit juice before you eat a meal. I always believe in using a slow press juicer so you can get different kind of fruits, whether it's carrot, apple, pineapple, whatever suits you, so that you can have some juices before you start eating. That will prepare your stomach to digest the food. Eat smaller meals, obviously, and you need to chew longer. If you don't have strong teeth, you need to eat food that is soft, not food that is hard. You got to cut the food into smaller pieces, eat smaller meals, chew longer, and make sure your saliva comes out before you swallow. There is a famous saying that, when we are babies, we eat baby food, right? Therefore, as we age, we actually go back to eating like babies again. I've spoken about the physical wellness of the body, but very important as we age is also our mental wellness. Of course, physical wellness and mental wellness is always promoted by our company, by our CEO, Mr. Danny Pang. So here I want to talk a little bit about the mental wellness, especially with the effect of older people. As we age, we cannot consume a lot of food and our nutrient intake drops. And therefore, our brain actually burns a lot of energy. Just sitting down alone, our brain consumes almost 50-60% of the energy in our body. So therefore, it's important to keep the brain well nourished. One of the most important nutrients for brain function is good oil. Not the bad cooking oil and the heated oil that we use, but we are talking about cold pressed oil, especially cold pressed oils from seed. The brain also uses a lot of energy, but the white sugar that we take, the normal sugar, is actually bad for the body. So you need to take good quality sugars. These sugars can come from fruits, or it can come from complex carbohydrates like black rice, red rice, brown rice, or quinoa, or that kind of food that provides you sustained energy. One of the best things that older people can eat will be soup, boiled with big bones and meat and tendons, so that they can get the nourishment of the minerals and the proteins from the meat, and also good oils, and also porridge made from unpolished rice, made from black rice or red rice. These are all the best nutrients for older people. Very important also is to keep the mind active. Therefore, for older people, it's important to have activities. For example, you can use computer. Surprisingly, I encourage computer games, but for older people, not for young kids all the time, But they can read. They shouldn't just sit down and watch the TV dumbly. Then as the brain will become more and more dumb. If possible, they can keep their mind active by being engaged in business. Look at Li Ka-shing. I think he's in his late 80s, almost 90. You can take part in your church, your temple, whatever charity. And actually, one of the best ways to keep active and mix with young people and be active and all that is to practice network marketing. Because network marketing makes you think, you have to calculate, you have to meet people, you have to talk, you have to laugh, and sometimes cry. So basically, it's a good business activity for older people. And also remember, older people need more supplements, need more medication. So therefore, that's another opportunity for network marketing. So in what way does SoPlus helps us? Okay, well, let me give you some of the things that are in SoPlus that will help the aging people. First of all older people face absorption problem. So nutrients in SoPlus are highly absorbable. So it's easy to take, it's in liquid form, it hits your stomach and it gets absorbed. Very important is to hold it in your mouth for 5-10 seconds, whatever, to mix it with the saliva so that it gets absorbed through the blood vessels in your mouth. SoPlus is also a whole food because it is made entirely from cold pressed seeds together with some other nutrients. You can even measure the antioxidant and the nutrient value because it is ORAC 6 rated, and it has an ORAC value of 19,920. So that's a lot of nutrition that an older person can get. If you want to get that kind of ORAC value from food, you would have to eat, I guess, lots and lots of vegetables and fruits, and no old people can eat that much. As I said earlier, oil is very important, and oil is one of the key ingredients of SoPlus. We have the seed oil from 4 seeds, which are essential for the older people. One of the seeds is cranberry seed, which is very important for people with urination problem, incontinence problem, and that is usually an aging problem. And to overcome low energy, of course, we have another ingredient called D-ribose, and our 6th ingredient, trans-resveratrol, actually has an anti-aging effect. So that is very important. There's one common thread among all the old aging diseases like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, rheumatism, arthritis, even cancer. All these type of diseases are caused by body inflammation or even inflammation at the cell level. And one of the best properties of SoPlus is its anti-inflammatory results. And older people take a lot of anti-inflammatory drugs, sometimes steroids, for diseases like rheumatism, arthritis, gout, diabetes. All these are pro-inflammatory. So the doctors will usually give them a lot of medication to control that. So with the help of SoPlus, you can help cut your inflammation. And for older people, I always tell them that they not only drink SoPlus, they must also apply it to wherever they have a problem, whether it's in their feet, whether it's in their fingers, whether it's in their neck. So these are different places they can apply wherever they have aches, pains, or they have difficulty. And if a man suffers prostate problem, which most men over 50 will have problems, you need to apply the SoPlus in between your legs, under your private parts. Therefore, in conclusion, my final word of advice is always make a small sacrifice today if you are young, so that you don't have to make a very big sacrifice when you get older. So think about health a little bit, make some adjustments to your lifestyle a little bit so that you can sustain a healthier aging as you get older. So thank you everybody and have a good night.